this is not the way to make a good episode of The Mandalorian. Bienvenidos, worldwide fans of the planet's hottest entertainment with an edge from a galaxy far, far away. Jaime En Fuego here, once more, for more Mandalorian coverage here on my namesake program, Enfuegotainment. And I just got this little dude the other day. Yeah, he's cute, and that is one bit of criticism I saw from a couple of my friends here and there about the previous episode of The Mandalorian, Chapter 9, The Marshal, I believe is what it was called, Timothy Oliphant, Boba Fett armor, crate dragons. It was amazing. One of my favorite episodes of the show. And this the 10th episode of The Passenger might be my least favorite episode that I have seen of this show. Now, that's not to say that there weren't installments last season that I had issues with and wasn't the biggest fan of. Most notably, the Bill Burr heist episode, didn't like that one very much. The Bryce Dallas Howard directed Seven Samurai episode, not so big into that one either. But even those, compared to this one, I found a significant amount more merit to. So basically, we join up right on Tatooine, right off the bat, after slaying that crate dragon, and basically Mando, right off the bat, as he is, he's on that speeder bike, he's trying to get back to his ship and everything, and bounce the hell out of Tatooine. He gets attacked, and that just shows that there is still a wide knowledge about the fact that this little guy is still in high demand, and that there are a lot of people who know about, just who is after him and the type of money that they can make if he is brought in. And yes, we can probably assume, without spoiling stuff, because this is non-spoiler in a rapid fashion, that yes, it's at the beginning of the episode, everything is okay, and we re-meet up with the comedian Ripley from Aliens, rocking that old fro from the 79 film, basically. Amy Sedaris, I think her name is. I'm not too familiar with her work, but she feels so out of place on this show to me, and I know there's a lot of other people who feel the same way. If you think she's great, art is subjective, more power to you, but basically she's in what I'm assuming to be Mos Eisley Cantina, and she's gambling with this Dr. Mandible guy, this ant, and basically Mando is like, yo, I have no idea where other Mandalorians are. I traced the route here and all I found was armor, so where do I go? What do I do? And she's like, well, I have somebody who, if you grant them transport, although without using hyperspeed, they can actually lead you to more Mandalorians. And so that's basically what it turns into, is him taking what turns out to be a frog lady to what is supposed to be her home planet, and that's really about all that I can say. This was such a throwaway episode, and the first 2/3 of it, and granted, this episode is barely over 30 minutes long if you include the 4-something minutes of that awesome artwork that they have in the end credits, which I always really enjoy. I usually pull that for my thumbnails, so if you include that and the previously on The Mandalorian sort of crap, this episode's barely over 30 minutes. It's 34, 35 minutes, I think. So yeah, compared to the 50 plus that we got last week, and also the fact that Frog Lady there is some practical for the design of the character at times, but this is one of the most CGI heavy episodes of the show that I've seen. Now granted, the gallery pulled the curtain back and showed us that pretty much all of our backgrounds and settings and areas where they're walking around that isn't ground level, everything that surrounds them is digitized, and it's amazing the way they do it, and I still get pulled in even if they did pull that proverbial curtain back. But as far as in the third act, first off, there's an homage to a certain sci-fi franchise that is possibly my favorite one, that veers into some of the scarier stuff. There's an homage, and you almost definitely recognize it when you see it. And they try to add some thrills after this goofy episode where little guy is trying to eat the eggs of the frog lady throughout the whole time, and he does end up eating something that causes a big stir of conflict in the third act that actually brings some of the only excitement. But even then, it's so CGI heavy that I wasn't thrilled or captivated or engaged, and so much of this relied on the nostalgia, and that's the one thing that, Favre and Filoni have been just very gung-ho about the fact that, this is them trying to, send up and pay tribute to the stuff that inspired Star Wars, as opposed to, trying to replicate with, just borrowing from this and borrowing from that. And yet, this is one of the most, nostalgia-heavy episodes as far, there's X-Wings that are messing with Mando at one particular point, which is what brings him onto an ice planet. And, it was funny hearing, Mando basically, as they're hassling him and they're like, where are you going? What's going on? Are you Imperial? And they're like, well, things are a little different in the New Republic now, so we have to, give you just a little bit more that you have to ping back, and we have to ask you questions and so on and so forth. And, he's in this old rust bucket, so he doesn't have a lot of the protocol and stuff that they need, and he starts to get a little shady. And at one point he's like, may the Force be with you. And hearing him say that just really cracked me up. It was one of my favorite bits of the episode. But yeah, it's a bummer because Favre scripted this episode too, and it was directed by Peyton Reed, of all people, Ant-Man director himself. And it's not a bad looking episode, but once again, very CGI heavy, especially in the third act of the episode. And it kind of, it didn't answer any questions from the cliffhanger of the previous season, nor the cliffhanger of the first episode, chapter 9. So I don't know, man. I guess I have to double down on the fact that I came into this just, I was about to just explode with excitement, and I was really, really disappointed with this episode. So I don't know. You can't win them all, I suppose. And yeah, I guess that's without spoiling anything more extensive. That's about all that I can say. So I've been Jaime En Fuego. This has been The Child, and you can find more on all social media sectors like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Here on YouTube, a like, a share, a subscribe does mean a hell of a lot. I thought this was going to go up at midnight my time here in the AZ Mountain Standard, but yeah, it ended up going up at midnight Cali time, Pacific Standard, so I'm assuming that's going to be, that will be the way going forward. But yes, all kinds of stuff here on my personal channel, the entire previous season of the show, lots of Star Wars reviews. I also do stuff like Borat subsequent movie film, and yeah, On the Rocks, the new Sofia Coppola, lots of stuff, guys. So also, if you like spectacular stuff, I'm on another channel, which is the shirt here, The Horror Show channel, youtube.com/The Horror Show channel. So check that out, and gracias once again for hearing my thoughts on this episode. And if you liked it, let me know in the comments below if you think I am totally off base. Yeah, hey, once again, art is subjective. So I've been Fuego, y'all have been Rat Status, and until the Reel of Ka comes around once more, hasta luego, Cinemigos, constant viewers and readers alike, say thank you for a little bit of your time here on the interwebs, and I'm hopeful that we share more of this film, or television palaver, I guess, sooner rather than later. And until then, you know the drill. May the Force be with you, because this is the way.